What is going on, everybody? Today we've got a quick channel update. It's been a few months since we've been able to talk some things over, so I figured today would be a good chance to do that. And in the meantime, we'll see if Shohei Ohtani can hit a dead center field home run at Polo Grounds. So the first thing I have to ask is, I'm not sure if you guys will be able to tell if there's anything a little bit different visually with today's episode. I'm curious if it looks a little bit different. That's because I recorded this not on my PlayStation, but on my PlayStation Pro. My regular PS5, I had noticed, had started to slow down back in like October, November. So I ended up buying a PS5 Pro, and I just never had time to move my data over from my PlayStation 5 to my new console. I finally ended up having time to do that today, so that's what I ended up doing. That's why there's not a regular upload. But I can't tell if it looks that different, so I'm curious to see if any of you notice a difference or not. But anyway, that's not really the main point of today's video. More so, I want to talk about where we stand with MLB The Show, obviously coming out within the last couple of weeks. There's been some change around the channel, along with what we can expect going into the summer months. So first things first, I really appreciate all the support with the new MLB The Show 25 content, specifically the start of the White Sox series. Whether you've already been around the channel for a while or you just found me over the last couple of weeks, I really appreciate all the excitement with the White Sox series so far. It's been a lot of fun, even though the team is complete balls. I've really enjoyed Season 1 so far. I think we're probably going to wrap things up in Season number 1, at least for the regular season, on Sunday. So I think that's when you can expect that episode. Really, the only thing I have to add with the White Sox series is that I'm always looking for ideas, whether it's adding to the wheel or just other ideas we can add to the series. So I'm always curious to hear your feedback in the comments, whether it's in this video or future episodes of the series. I'm glad you guys have had a lot of fun with it. It has helped lead March of 2025 to being statistically the best month I've ever had here on YouTube, which is saying something. Damn, he almost did it there. Which says something, because obviously I've been making videos on this platform for 8.5 years. So that's pretty dope that we're coming off such an impressive month in terms of viewership, engagement, subscribers, and maybe a little bit less relevant for you guys, but green in my pockets as well. Anyway, let's move over to the other series with college football and Kansas, the Broncos, and the Warriors, because as we get closer to the summer and then eventually the fall, we're going to have College Football 26 coming, Madden 26 will be coming, NBA 2K 26 will be coming. I'm not starting to think about teams yet because, well, it is way too early for any of that. It's early April. I do want to talk about the transition to College Football 26. Obviously, we're still going strong with Kansas, getting closer to the end of season number 4. But I am starting to think a little bit of what we could potentially do for College Football 26. I think the one thing I know for sure is that we're going to simulate years into the future, so we will use fictional rosters, since it would be kind of redundant if we just used the real prospects again for a second year in a row. There's a few different things I am considering with that. For one thing, I'm trying to figure out how I would eventually wrap up the Kansas series, because I get that we're not going to be able to have everybody into the draft classes in Madden 25 since there's only so many more seasons there. And I'm going to want to include those Kansas players eventually into the Madden 26 draft classes rather than the Broncos long-term sim, because what? We're going to see Elijah Parrish in the NFL for one video? No, I want to see his entire collegiate and then thus his NFL career. So I'm going to figure out how I'm going to do that. I'm curious to hear some feedback and then what you guys would want to see regarding potentially what the College Football 26 series would look like, knowing that we're going to use entirely fictional rosters. So that'll wrap things up. Hope you guys enjoyed. We'll get back to our regular content tomorrow. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Peace out.